This module is an introduction to the 757-767 FMS CBT lesson. The lessons are organized into 5 groups: characteristics, pre-flight initialization, in-flight operations, miscellaneous data, and challenges. The characteristics lesson gives a brief overview of the FMS and associated control display units. The next 3 groups consist of a series of short lessons called modules. Each module covers a unique FMS operation. Within each module are separate CDU tasks required to complete the operation. As you advance through the modules, you will find that certain tasks learned from previous modules are required to complete the more complex operation. Most modules begin with a first step frame, which is also the title frame. The first step requires you to complete the first task in the operation being covered. Generally, the first step involves selecting an FMS page using a mode key. A notable exception is the pre-flight section, where most page selections are made with line select keys. Following the first step frame, a situation or intro frame will be presented. This frame presents a unique situation which sets up the FMS operation. Throughout the FMS lesson, you will be referred to as Delta Flight 890. Your route of flight will be from Atlanta to Cincinnati, varying only as specific situations warrant. Following the situation frame, the identified operation and its subtask will be detailed. During and after most operations, you will be required to perform tasks using the CDU trainer. Let's now look at some unique differences between the CDU trainer and the real aircraft. Anytime a modification is entered to change the active LNAV or VNAV flight profile, the execute key illuminates and an erase prompt is displayed. Also note that the page title has changed from active to modified. To activate the modification, the execute key must be pressed or executed. To remove the modification, the erase prompt is selected, returning the page to its original status. As a general rule, a modified page should never be left without executing or erasing the modification. Due to lesson constraints, however, when a modification is entered, a series of steps may be required before it can be executed. And the erase prompt may not be active at all times. Consequently, if an illuminated execute light or erase prompt does not respond to your selection, it is for lesson purposes only. Another difference is scratchpad entry. Certain scratchpad entries may be either line selected or entered via keyboard. However, since line selection is usually quicker and more error-free, it is the preferred method and will be required in most modules. The mode keys will only be active when required to perform a task. Of particular note are the paging keys. When these keys are required, either one may be selected in most cases. However, during the more complex operations, the paging key providing the most direct access will be the only active key. With the exception of the aircraft symbol, The route of flight and symbols displayed are a close representation of the aircraft's HSI. Whenever an FMS operation is executed, the AFDS mode should be verified. To simulate this, a Verify AFDS Mode button will be displayed. Once selected, the current AFDS mode on the ADI will be displayed for verification. If you have a problem or need assistance, contact your instructor. Now let's get started.